The following episode will contain spoilers. You have been warned.
You're listening to Cinema IRL, the podcast that throws you into the movie and asks the question, what would you do? The animals are running the asylums and everything else as well. Listeners Amber and Scott discuss snakes actually being the good guys after they watched Zootopia 2. And now, Cinema IRL.
I wish I could switch places for just one day.
What would you do?
Put yourself in my shoes.
How do we handle this?
What would you do?
Put yourself in my position.
What would you do?
Now it's your turn.
I'm pretty sure I know how this movie was written.
What do you mean?
I am pretty sure that they probably had several people all get together and said, what's every animal-based pun that you can possibly think of? Write it down. And they all went to somebody who then crafted a storyline that was coherent around the puns.
Well, let me sit back and have a pina koala and ponder
Nay,
that theory.
Nay.
Alrighty, folks. This episode we are talking about Zootopia 2. Detectives Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde find themselves on the twisting trail of a mysterious reptile who arrives in Zootopia and turns the animal metropolis upside down. To crack the case, Judy and Nick must go undercover to unexpected new parts of town where their growing partnership is tested like never before.
This was very interesting because I am pretty sure that from start to finish, and I make this clarification because of some other movies, from start to finish, that these snake characters were good guys.
Yeah.
Were like the good guys.
Yeah. You know, that's actually, I mean, it's nice because stereotypes with animals, especially in children's films, you know, they stick and they create fear. And, you know, snakes don't have to be scary like any wild animal. You just have to show them respect.
But that said, lynxes are assholes.
Yeah. So this film was adorable. In addition to catering to the kids in the audience, there were so many inside jokes, so many hysterical jokes that you would get if you were a parent, a grandparent from decades past. So many funny inside jokes.
I mean, you said, I didn't watch it, but you said one of the characters was named for 21 Jump Street?
Yeah, the bunny's name is Judy Hopps, and Judy Hopps was the only female in the 21 Jump Street crew.
And I know there was the Shining reference. There were
Coca-Cola Polar Bear.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Babe, the movie Babe. Like, I laughed so hard in this movie. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it was very funny. So
the what would you do's in this film are really based around the main story where we have the Lynx family, and the Lynxes, and they are kind of the developers here. You know, we have Zootopia divided up into walls with different towns, so to speak, where, you know, one's cold and one's water, and
so that everyone could live together in a single town.
Right. So segregation,
separate but equal.
Yeah, and they call the shots. They basically, you know, hire the mayor, and they are not good people. They are an evil family.
Yeah, no, they are like a lot of people that have a lot of money and buy off mayors.
And
I haven't found too many people who buy off mayors that I would consider, you know, swell people.
Yeah, Mother Teresa and Gandhi are not buying off mayors. And this family basically stole they were using it as a, what was the word for the contract?
It was a patent.
Yeah, the patent of having these walls. It was actually created many moons ago by a snake. And a snake is the one of thinking of creating these different towns and these walls so everyone could have what they needed. The animals who needed cold could have snow and ice, and the animals needed water could have, you know, rivers and lakes.
Well, the snow and ice seemed to be mostly something that they put together intentionally to drive the reptiles out.
Yeah, and so this concept was created by this snake grandma, and then the Lynx's family
Like they went into
stole the patent from her.
Well, yeah, I mean, they went into business because she had the patent, but she didn't have the funds to make it happen. The Lynxes had the funds to make it happen, so they entered into a partnership. But it wasn't good enough for him to just be partners. He wanted the full patent, and he was going to frame the snakes to make sure that he got that, because everyone thinks snakes are evil by default, as we've said. Thus, no one believes them.
Yeah, and there is a book that the grandma de Snake put all this her vision and her ideas and her drawings into this book that will expose that everyone who's living a happy life in Zootopia actually has a snake to thank for this. And the Lynx don't want it out.
She called the book "Give Me Credit." I'm kidding.
I don't
Give me credit, bitches.
I don't think that's what.
It was something like that.
She was a nice lady.
Yeah.
She was.
She was a snake.
She wore a little bonnet. She was adorable.
She was a snake.
So, what would you do if you were part of this grandma's family? Because basically we see her grandson, who is Gary the Snake, and Gary is trying to find this book to be able to get this patent to show that although snakes have been driven out of Zootopia, that it was actually created by his grandma's snake, and he wants his family to be able to be free to come back to Zootopia.
Yeah, I mean, basically his whole thing was about wanting his family to be able to come back. They were driven out because grandma was basically, or I think it was great grandma actually, was framed, and everyone got pushed out because of the cold, and it was necessary to debunk the theory that the Lynxes actually were the ones that had it, and which would release control and public opinion and allow the snakes to be fine.
Lynxley. Lynxley. So what would you do if you felt like you had this family heritage that you needed to, number one, bring the truth to everybody, and then also that your family had been impacted? So what would you do if you were Gary the Snake, who's on this quest to share the truth with everybody, to bring his family together and to give his grandma credit?
You're asking me what I would do?
Well, you generally don't do much to serve humanity.
With it. Yeah.
You're like, I have to get off the couch.
Mom,
football's on.
Mom, I love you.
I'm not your mom.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not doing something to bring my whole family back together.
Okay, well, pretend your family is Gary's family and not your actual
family. Okay. So honestly, credit's credit. Like, unless it's going to do something for you, it's ego only. That said, the second part of being able to clear a name and allow you back safe passage, okay, that is something absolutely worth pursuing. Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I don't think it was ever necessarily about credit. It was about demystifying snakes, about educating the rest of the animals in Zootopia that you don't need to be afraid of snakes. This world that you love and enjoy was envisioned by a snake.
I mean, it's a lot of this kind of on principle type thing, and you know me and my little on principle crusades sometimes. If it's on principle, my family did this, not yours. We're freaking. I'm going to show you.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think Gary the Snake was, I'm going to show you. He just wanted to live in harmony in the land that his grandma envisioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't have an altruistic bone in your body, so this is kind of a hard conversation for you.
I've got at least one.
So the other, what would you do, is one of the Lynxley family. What was it? What was the
Palmore?
Oh gosh, I'm sorry, folks.
Possum.
No.
Padre.
No, it was like Portly. Pubert.
Pubert. I knew it was Paw something.
Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry, it's late. So Pubert acts as if he's an ally of Gary in this quest. And Pubert's last name is Lynxley, so he's part of the evil family. But we're led to believe, spoilers, people, that Pubert is the one that doesn't fit in the family, and he wants to do good and he wants to help Gary. But it turns out he just wants to be loved. So he's pretending so he can actually get the book and destroy it and save the Lynxley family.
I mean, it's interesting because he's trying to protect the name of his family as well. So it's kind of family versus family. I mean, only one of you is right and the other one's wrong. But I'll say this is also one of those classic cases of history is written by winners. Like if he gets rid of that, then the lynxes are the good guys and the snakes are the bad guys because the lynxes won and they got to write history.
Yeah, Lynxley. So
I'm not acknowledging that. I'm just calling it
sorry, I put
the
it
lynxes for short.
I put it in your brain and now it's there. I own that. That's my fault. So what would you do if you found yourself in a family where they're all tight and you feel like the outsider, like Pubert did? Because that's why he did it, is he wanted to be seen, he wanted to be equal, he wanted to be loved, and masquerading as a friend to Gary DeSnake to be able to get the book and then come back and be like, I got it, Dad, I got it, brothers, I'm one of you, and love me, please love me.
I mean, it's just like anything else in this world of how bad do you want anything? And to what lengths are you willing to go to get it? It turns out in this case, one of the things that Pubert wanted was he wanted family acceptance. He wanted to not be the outsider. Like, he did care what they thought. And so he was willing to go to some lengths.
He was willing to be evil to fit in with the rest of his evil family.
Yeah, though it sounds like near the end, like he wasn't cosplaying as evil. He was just fine with that role. He was just fine with it. He cosplayed good, but no, he's a little SOB as well.
Yeah. So what would you do if you were Pubert? Would you go to those lengths to try to be accepted, or would you just accept that sometimes family members are different? And I mean, it's really based in wanting to be accepted and wanting to be loved.
I mean, it seemed very clear that he was on the outs with his entire family, not just like nobody seemed to like him.
But what would you do?
I wouldn't care. I'm my own person. I don't need anyone's acceptance. I like yours. I value yours. Most other people, So I'm not someone that wants somebody to be proud of me. So I wouldn't. But again, that is me. But then again, I guess that's what we do here.
It is. So one of the other dynamics.
What about you?
What would I do?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't.
You ask her questions, be an answer of one.
Well, yeah, you never ask me.
Well, yeah, because you're the play-by-play and I'm the color.
Okay. So I am the she stands alone girl. So if my family's evil, I'm probably picketing their company. I'm probably organizing with some sort of vigilant organization to take them down. So if I were Pubert, I would be recognizing that my family is bad for society, bad for Zootopia, and I would be working with a secret group to take them down. That's who I am.
Yeah, that checks.
So one of the other what would you do's in Zootopia 2 would be the relationship between Judy and Nick. And those are our two police officers who, off of Zootopia 1, they had a unlikely partnership, a big win where they saved the city, and they are coming off that big win and falling into this mess with the book and Gary DeSnake and the Lynxley family. And although they are partners, they're still learning how to be partners. And as the film progresses, we find that Nick is pretty much I'm a soul creature. I'm on my own. I'm a fox. And what society does, protecting society, helping society, doing the right thing, I just kind of want to look out for me and mine. And I'm not going to endanger myself or knock myself out for the betterment of anyone or anything or the greater good. Whereas Judy is a bunny who wants to change the world.
This sounds a lot like a relationship that I know.
It does. I saw a lot of Nick and Judy in You and Me.
Hip hop, hip hop. But I'm not the one who's bouncing.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's not exactly like that, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty close. But I mean, that's the other thing too. Partnerships, like good partnerships, long term, kind of come from contrasts. Like I've always said in any partnership, I mean, be it romantic or even professional, that you want your partner to be your complement, not your clone, because then they cover your weak areas and vice versa. It just can be a little rough at first, kind of getting to that point where you're like okay with the other person because you may not get along well with somebody.
Right. So what would you do when you have this conflict where they're both law enforcement officers. They're both supposed to do, and I'm using air quotes here, the right thing. They're both supposed to want to serve the public good. But you have one that is extremely gung-ho and one that almost has the mentality of, I've had this job for 50 years and I'm calling it in, even though that's not the case. I mean, where do you go with that? Because they actually got sent to essentially couples counseling with a support animal and
Zebros
and trying to work through how to be partners.
I mean, sometimes couples go to therapy to get things worked out, and sometimes in therapy you learn that there's issues that you didn't even know that were there because they were lying dormant, which is kind of what that little what was that thing? Was it a chinchilla or whatever the therapist was? I don't know. I don't even remember what the animal was.
There was a lot of animals.
There were a lot of
Zootopia.
animals. We were like, oh, well, you have this, and this problem. Okay, don't laugh because you have this, and this. What?
Well, it comes between two. Is Nick was about taking the easy way, the path of least resistance, just kind of mostly doing the bare minimum.
Like life is hard. Don't make it harder.
But then also when you're want to make the world a better place, like Judy, you know, there can be a lot of friction there.
And you're like, life is hard. Let's make it harder.
No, I mean, you make things better by exploring and digging and creating change. And yeah, creating change can be hard. But in the end, most of the time, if you're working for positive change, things are better. You think about if we didn't have people fighting for change, black people would still be slaves. Women still wouldn't have the right to vote. I mean, it's because of people fighting for the betterment of society and the greater good that we have evolved as a society, and we have a long way to go. But it took someone to stand up to make those changes happen and to create a movement.
Oh, yeah. People like y'all are absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary. Or else you're right. A society doesn't evolve. So, mind you, any opinions I have myself might just be for myself, not necessarily the way I want to see society as a whole. Like here's the thing. Like, I didn't go to a No Kings rally. It has nothing to do with my political views whatsoever, because I absolutely politically would have, but that's just not really my thing. I don't go. That said, I loved seeing them all over the country. I love that there are that many people out there who are passionate about change and doing things. And, I mean, you can echo that for a whole bunch of other things. So, like, I know it's good, but you can't be everything. You just can't. And some people have the chops to be the change makers, and some people don't. I don't really.
What do you mean by everything? You can't be everything.
I mean, people have their strengths and they have their weaknesses.
Oh, you mean you're not a get in the streets and hold a protest sign kind of a person?
Yeah, like,
but you are definitely a digital warrior.
I mean,
online.
Pick your battlefield. I mean, really, it's kind of what it is sometimes. Where do you want to fight? I can be a little bit of a keyboard warrior, but it's because that's where I'm most effective.
Yeah, I mean, and for myself, I have been to many protests and many rallies over my lifetime, and I'm all for raising my voice and carrying a sign and educating people and making people accountable. So, final thoughts on Zootopia 2. And again, folks, if you have not seen Zootopia 2, be sure to see Zootopia 1. But this franchise is adorable.
Yeah. Amber and I have had a disagreement as to whether or not I've seen Zootopia 1. I still don't think I have. That said, I don't think I needed to. I enjoyed this film perfectly fine as a standalone, so you should see 1, but if you don't get a chance to, you're still going to be fine.
We hope you enjoyed our episode. Thank you for listening. And to catch all the new episodes, please subscribe. We release 2 to 3 episodes weekly, so we'll have new content regularly. Until next time.